So I'm here in Parliament Square with a huge group of people, up to 1,000, potentially more, of people we expect to come out in opposition to the proscription of Palestine Action as a terrorist organisation. This was the new law implemented by Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, as an attempt to clamp down on the Palestine movement, to make people scared to come out in solidarity with Palestine. It's had the complete opposite effect, as we can see. We saw that already. Hundreds of people have already been arrested for declaring support for Palestine Action, and today we're expecting much more. This shows weakness from Starmer's government, right? They implemented this in order to show that they've got control over the situation, but this is a government of crisis on an economic front and a political front. And so there's a lot of people here today to show their opposition, and we're gonna, go and try and speak to some of them.
Shame on you! 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 Shame on you!
This is my first protest. I have watched the genocide unfold for just nearly 2 years now. I've seen so many children without limbs. I've got a child myself. The idea that Western imperialism has taken these children's limbs, it is just so incredibly wrong. And I don't know how the world has allowed this to happen. I live a long way from London, but I've travelled because it's just out of desperation. Yes. Something has to change. Someone has to have some compassion. This has to stop.
I know democracy is never perfect, but this is not democracy, and I'm very scared of the way things are going. And I feel compelled to take this action because in the long run I would feel terrible if I didn't.
The proscription of Palestine Action is a litmus test for the British public of how far are we willing to bend over for our government to take away our civil liberties.
Taking place is mind-boggling. They actually have just tried arresting people, not even for fully saying, I support Palestine Action. They are arresting people for just writing, I oppose genocide. It's an absolutely ludicrous thing to witness. But that is the state of Britain today. That is how far Starmer is trying to go to clamp down on this movement. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, the fact that so many people are willing to be arrested, they're willing to see their rights put on the line in this way, shows how deep, I would say, Palestine has become in the consciousness for so many people. It is like the defining issue for a whole generation of people.
How many more do they need? Like, seriously? I wonder how many people have been stabbed today in London.
So one of the points we make a lot is about how the Palestine issue really reflects so many other things. I just did an interview with Channel 4 News, which is obviously a mainstream bourgeois media outlet in Britain, explaining why we're here and why we're opposed to the proscription of Palestine Action. And at the end of the interviewer said, "And what do you think about Hamas?" And it's extraordinary that nearly 2 years into this genocide, that media interviewers are still posing this question. It's also completely at odds with the mood of the whole demonstration, which 100% is about Palestine, but it's also about democracy. It's also about free speech, right? A lot of the people we've spoken to here today have said that this is their first action that they've taken. It's their first protest because they're terrified and they're opposed to what they're seeing happen to Britain in general today. You know, when we say Palestine is this prism through which anti-establishment politics is being fractured, because it has the potential to be this really radical movement, the government and Starmer are having to throw everything at it, right, to clamp down on it and repress it. And so all it does is expose how much democracy under capitalism is a farce. And as Lenin said, you know, democracy under capitalism is for the rich only, right? So the fact that, also we should say that there are 1,300 people with placards. So that's double the amount, like placards that are declaring support for Palestine Action. So that's actually double the amount of the last protest. every attack they make is growing this movement, because it's now being connected to other issues. It's being connected to democracy and freedom of speech, and we are connecting it to the question of austerity as well.
Palestine Action.
Have you read her card?
Protesting.
Have you read her card?
You've read it. You've got this. Shame on you. No, we're both here.
What's she being arrested for?
She hasn't got anything wrong.
Read her card.
Done anything
Read
wrong.
her card.
You can't arrest her. Is it an arrestable offence to oppose genocide? Is it an arrestable offence to oppose genocide? Be arrested. She can't.
We'll take the ones to go up and we'll come back.
Well done. Thank you, everybody. I'll let Colleen check that one. It's just because all the roads were blocked. That's why I haven't done it. To get all of their friends, go to 3minuteaction.com. Try and get everybody to email that MP. Thank you.
All of these arrests, the 700 or so arrests that have come before, are turning the Terrorism Act into a joke. If people are now terrorists for sitting in Parliament Square with a piece of cardboard, then anyone could be called a terrorist at any point. It's just making a farce of the law, and I cannot see any way forward for the Labour Party to stick to this without electoral landslide defeat in 2028 or 2029.